It's the next day, and we are here with the projects. I got a fleet of little dudes in my garage. When we got it yesterday, we noticed that it was kind of hard to kick, and it was kicking through, felt like it had compression, but now it's like locked. Like, look at that. I think it's hydro-locked. Julian thinks it's hydro-locked. Why do you think that?
The reason why is because when I was kicking it over, the gas was not on, and I turned it on immediately. Once I noticed that, and once I turned it on, the gas started dripping out of the carburetor, and then it stiffened up super hard. Some snacks, and yeah, just stopped kicking over. So that's my theory on it. We'll have to take a look.
We'll pull the plug.
Alright guys, the head of the engine is off, and would you look at that? All of that detonation all over. This is the worst head we've ever seen.
It's still locked. You can see it spilled out all kinds of crap, a mix of oil.
I was half right about the hydro lock,
but it still didn't freak up.
Yeah.
So what we got to do now is pull the studs out of the cylinder.
Alright.
Alright, let's top end center. So, we have concluded this thing is seized. Because, check this out, we'll go back to the kicker right here. Pretty seized. I thought it would have freed up once we took off the cylinder, but that's not the case. So, we're done for today at least, and what we like to do is always put all your parts in different bags and have them labeled as well. Oh crap, boys. Oh, what we got in here? All right, we got something from Tusk in here. I think this is the tools. This is the Motion Pro flywheel puller. Been needing this. I do not have any bottom end tools, so this is all brand new. I needed all this, and this is the flywheel puller, right? Yeah, crankcase splitter. Oh, big guns. All right, more here. Now this is the one a lot of us have been waiting for. This is probably one of my biggest purchases from Rocky Mountain right here. Freaking wrench rabbit kit. Oh my god. An entire wrench rabbit kit. All the tools needed. Okay, this is what I'm really hyped for. I've never had a wrench rabbit kit. This is way too hype. This is all the hype right here. Everything, hot rod crank, and look, it's just a baby. It's a baby. Oh, look at it, so little. Fits in my hand. Now, this is also my first time owning a case splitter, so this will be interesting to use. This thing be looking too fresh. So now we've run into an issue. We got to take off the kicker, but this bolt right here, this Allen head, is rounded. So we're going to do a few experiments before resulting to a last result. So I got a drill bit right here. What I'm going to do is hammer it into here and hit it with an impact drill. So what I've done here is I've pretty much just mashed it into here. So now I'm going to grab my drill and impact this dude out. Got my drill onto here. Let's try this out, hopefully. just rounded it. It's into the case.
Dude.
It's about freaking time. So what I had to do is I grinded, a notch in there, and oh my gosh, the bit fell out. But I got a fat drill bit, flathead, and we got her out finally. So let's get to tearing down this engine again. Look at all this metal right there, the bottom. Just a huge layer. This is why we gotta replace that. That's where the crank bearing went out right there. Yep, just metal. Like there's even shards in there. Wow, yeah, this thing's in desperate need of an entire rebuild. Now that we have our cases split, our next step is going to be popping out our old bearings with a socket and also a mallet. And after that, I'm gonna go and clean up these cases on the outside to make the engine look real fresh again. So after cleaning up our cases the best we could by hand, what we're going to do is put this in the oven because we're having a hard time taking this bearing out. So we're going to try to put it in the oven for 350 degrees for 30 minutes, see if it pops out. We have our bearings sitting in here, so we're going to grab these and we're going to sweat them in. Fresh out the oven right here and try to drop the main bearing. Are you serious? After installing all of our bearings into the cases, what we're going to be doing now is installing all of our oil seals and greasing them while putting them in. Got the card in the parts cleaner. Going through a full clean before we put her back on the bike. Since this is our first time doing this, we took our time installing the transmission. We got the tranny in, shift forks in, all properly greased. The next step is going to be installing the crank now. So we will be doing that. Crank is sitting inside the freezer, inside dry ice. We're now going to heat up this side of the engine with a heat gun before installing our crank. So now we got our crank here, frozen, sitting in the freezer and also inside some dry ice. We're going to press it in now. Now we have our engine all sealed up. Got a little bit of silicone showing. Go and clean that up. But now it's time to install our stator and clutch basket and all the internals inside the engine cases, and then put the top end cylinder, and then we're ready to go. We're now going to be assembling our top end, putting in that new vertex piston. We got the entire engine rebuilt. Got a little out of hand here. First time doing an entire rebuild, not just top end, top and bottom. Did it all. Now there's only one last step to do. Install this thing into the bike.
It is time.
The KX65 is officially complete. Mechanically, this thing is perfect. You got to adjust a little bit of things around here. Definitely a little bit of carb tuning in there. A little bit of chain adjustment. And since this is Liam's bike's gonna be his first real two-stroke, we're gonna keep these plastics on until he gets good with them. Then we'll replace them because he's bound to drop these. So after, get some nice graphics, nice plastics, maybe some different grips. But this thing is officially complete. Quick startup. This thing is neat. It sounds so good. Because this is our first time ever doing a bottom end rebuild, an entire engine rebuild, we weren't able to go into full detail on the entire wrench rabbit kit install. But thank you guys so much for joining. Next time we will have a more in-depth video when we do another bottom end, and we will see you guys in the next video.